Grab your favorite drink, whether it's a coffee, cocktail, or tea, and get ready. It's Ladies' Night on Lady Overlander Radio. Hey, Arla, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Misty. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to talk to you finally on here. This is Arla she's Mrs. Bats Offroad, and she's with Tony, her husband, which is also known as Bats Offroad. And you can find them on social media as such. So let's go ahead before we get really into this. Let's talk about your background and how you guys kind of got into overlanding.
Well, we got into overlanding. We've camped for many years. We did tent camp a few times when we first got married. Kind of a divorcing issue. I say that every time. Did not go well, we'll say. Um, but we ended up with owning a few fifth wheel campers, and we would go camping every other weekend. To state parks. In Oklahoma and the Arkansas area, with several different couples. Um, and as the crow flies, basically, it got to where we weren't using the camper as much anymore. We had too much going on. Um, COVID hit, so then it was just sitting in the yard, the backyard, and we decided, when we got the Jeep, my Jeep, we got it 3 years ago this month. We started getting out more doing that, doing, off-roading and trail exploration and just getting out and seeing things you just wouldn't typically see if you were in a fifth wheel.
Mm-hmm.
It limits you to where you can go. Um, so it kind of took the back seat. Um, we basically just fell in love with the Jeep and just started doing that. And then we ended up buying a rooftop tent. And started, going out camping in that, which was a big change. Obviously, you go from a fifth wheel,
Yes.
with all the things you need to, basically back to tent camping, but on the roof. So we started doing that, and it's just kind of grown from there. We've added a Gladiator to the family, another rooftop tent. So we both have our own setups now.
Very nice. So we started out RVing full time after we retired from the military, and then we transitioned over into overlanding. And we first started out with one rig and a trailer. And I know that you guys recently sold your trailer and you've now put on rooftop tent on your rig, as you said.
That's
Tell me about your
correct.
two rigs. Tell me how they're outfitted.
Okay, so I have a 2018 JKU, and it I'm running a 3.5 inch lift, 35s on it. You're pretty basic, setup as far as a Jeep goes. I
Hmm.
would love to have 37 someday when I grow up. Um,
I've been told all the cool kids have 37s, but
I
whatever.
know. I want to be one of those cool kids, but I need an axle swap to do
Yeah.
that. So it only takes time and money. Um, it really does mean just empty every pocket.
Yep.
Um, but I'm running a Free Spirit hard shell tent on the top that I actually I won that. So I got pretty lucky on Blue Line Overland's drawing for Shop with a Cop.
Very
So
nice.
that's how I even ended up with a rooftop tent for my rig. Um, the Gladiator, it's set up 37s and a 3.5 inch lift, and he's running a Rome tent on his Evo bed rack.
Nice.
So his is a little his rig's a little bigger.
That doesn't mean
So
anything.
no, it doesn't.
Yours is more maneuverable, so
That's true.
yep.
I can make that turn.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not him,
So
but
what what prompted you personally into getting into this? Like from what I've seen, a lot of men are very interested in overlanding and, off-roading and camping and things like that. But what prompted you as a woman to get into this kind of hobby?
well, um, Tony and I also have had four-wheelers for a very long time. So we used to get out, on our four-wheelers and go ride trails around here in the Ozark National Forest and whatnot. And we loved doing that.
Hmm.
So that was something that we did for many, many years. So when we did get the Jeep, we thought we would just, hey, it's a little more comfortable and AC. So we could get that.
Oh
AC's a
yeah,
plus, heat's a plus, keeping you out of the elements a plus. So we just started taking it out, and I wanted a Jeep since I was in high school, and finally I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy one, just gonna do it, and I don't regret it. I can't see myself driving anything else ever
yeah,
besides a Jeep. That's just how much I love it. So we just started going, out exploring in the Jeep, just getting out and doing family stuff. We have a 12-year-old daughter, and we drag her along on those
very
trips
cool.
too. Go to a river, hang out for the day. I mean, so many things you can do.
Oh yeah. So how
So
does
many
she
things.
like it?
Depends because she's in the preteen stage of life.
Oh, I'm familiar.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what you're
Um,
saying.
you know what I'm saying. So yeah, she does like it, but she does get a little bored. So, kids these days, you have to try to pry their phones out of their hands and
Yes.
whatnot, and look out the window like we did whenever we would travel with our parents. We didn't get on any
When
of
we
that.
didn't
It
have
didn't
cell phones.
exist. Yeah,
Yeah.
that didn't exist. So you literally looked out the window or slept. That's all there was to do. So, um, she's getting better about it. On a recent trip, she actually loved that. So it's back and forth. It's back and forth. But she likes going to the shows, and she loves working booths and stuff and helping Blue Line Overland with fundraising for Shop with the Cop. She helps with that. She helps Masonberry with that. So, um, and a couple of the other kids. So she she
Yeah.
she does like working the shows and being at the shows.
Yeah, I saw her with at Rendezvous hauling that firewood and helping out, and she was working
Yep.
hard.
Yep. I think she did like 5 loads of firewood that night. She was killed.
I bet. Yeah.
But we were
So
warm, so
I have a 12-year-old daughter, a 12-year-old son, and a 10-year-old daughter, and very familiar with the preteen
yeah.
like this. Highs and
Yes.
lows, highs and lows.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah. But
Yeah.
mine overall they like it. My 12-year-old daughter doesn't really like the camping part. She likes the traveling and exploring part.
Mhm.
So, just finding a way to make everybody kind of happy can
Yeah.
be interesting sometimes.
Yep. It's a challenge, but she is starting to get better about it. She's grown up camping in a fifth wheel,
Yeah,
glamping,
glamping.
you know, to overlanding, living out of the back of your vehicle and camping in a rooftop tent and cooking outside all the time, and
Dealing with the
the
elements
bucket
sometimes.
potty,
Yep.
you know, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. So,
it was funny. I was talking to someone today about overlanding as a female. And
hmm
whether you're a preteen or teenager or an adult, there's certain things that we all kind of have in common that we kind of want, right? So we want to
sure,
keep clean, we want to make sure
yes,
we can go potty.
yep,
And those are the things that, I try to be very mindful of with my girls, especially because, like, boys,
do
let's face it,
whatever.
they can go potty anywhere and
Yes,
they're happy. But girls, we kind of need to make sure
we're
we've
good.
got a little bit extra. It's not too high maintenance, but just a little bit of those creature comforts to make it a little easier.
That's right. That's right.
So,
You got to have those because if you're miserable, then you're not going to want to do this,
no.
And if you don't like the outdoors, you're not going to want to do this. It's all temporary, So definitely having a bathroom of some sort, whether it be a bucket or
Yeah.
in a shower tent or whatever, is better than squatting in the woods
Oh yeah.
any
And
day.
we just got our shower tent at Rendezvous and from Artemis Overland, and that's been a game changer. Like, I like that so much better than trying to put the little standalone pop-up tents to do
Mm-hmm.
whatever you need to do in there. It's just those things get blown away and they're a pain to try
Mm-hmm.
to get back into the little bag. And
Now is yours mounted to your rig or Joe's?
yeah, it's mounted to my roof rack, so it's the
Gotcha.
23-0 little shower
Awesome.
tent, so I love it.
Very nice.
But
We're
so
thinking about that too.
oh, I would recommend it at least on one of your rigs.
Yeah,
It's
we
just
have one
nice
of
to
the
have.
OVS bigger. It's a bigger like shower tent, um, and it works fine, except for when the wind's blowing and you're trying to shower or go in the
And it's
bathroom,
all
and the
blowing
walls are
on you.
trying to. It's not built to have them out all the way. I don't know, so they come in. So that's a little annoying, but again, still better than going in the woods.
Oh yeah. Well, the 23-0 one we have actually has like you can stake it down to kind of keep it open, even if there's winds, which I like. And
Mm-hmm.
then we have an 8x8 awning and room on the other side. It's just kind of a room to get out of the elements if you want to. And then we have the 270-degree awning on the Jeep now. So
Oh,
this is like the best the
is that
fanciest we've been.
is
So
that the Howling Moon?
yeah, that's the Howling Moon awning. And then Joe has the Howling Moon tent on his Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have I guess it's an 8x8 or 7x7 awning and room
Room,
on Howling Moon on my Land Cruiser. So
nice.
it's nice. Much,
Yeah,
much better for room and getting out of the elements and all that fun stuff. But
yeah, that's right. That's awesome.
so you guys recently went down to Big Bend.
Yes, we did.
How was that?
It was a great trip. It was warm down there, which I'm kind of missing it now since it's so cold here right now. Um, but it was really warm. It's beautiful. We actually cannot wait to go back. We're talking about maybe it being an annual trip because honestly, we were there 6 days and we didn't get to see, a quarter of what
What's
it has to
around there?
offer down there. Yeah. We stayed at a great campground called Coyote Crossing,
Hmm.
um, just outside of it was Steady Butte. Um, but it's private property. You can find it on Hip Camp and book
Okay.
off of there, which is an app. And Rob, the guy that owns it, he's great. You don't have to worry about leaving your stuff there, which is kind of peace of mind. We don't have to worry about our solar or anything like that being out. And you basically just pick your spot, out there, and just basically come and go.
But don't
There's
book it the last week of the year because Bats Off Road already has that claimed.
well, we're gonna have a section there, yeah,
Okay.
probably
So
so.
it's a pretty big property. That's good.
Yeah, it's a pretty big property. He has several spots that he has marked there where you can actually set up and whatnot. And we ended up being between two, like nuzzled in between two hills, kind of back in there with the Professor and Mrs. Professor.
Yeah, we got to come up with a
And
better name for her than Mrs.
I
Professor.
know. I gotta talk to her about that. But then, Aaron from Artemis and Carrie, they were also there, and their kids camping with us as well. It was a great place. There's so much to do there, and it's unbelievable. It was beautiful,
Awesome. Yeah, I'm
beautiful.
sorry we missed that. We were going to go and then we decided maybe we should go visit family because we hadn't seen them in a while. So
Oh,
we
I
went to
get
Florida
that.
instead. But
Darn,
no.
Florida. Ugh, such a hard choice.
So that was the first trip with your rig all decked out, correct?
Yes. So we had a lot of work to do to get everything, two rigs ready. We decided. So originally, McKenna and I were not going to go on that trip. It was going to be a solo trip for Tony to go with some guys. Um, but that trip ended up doing something different. And then I had some vacation that I still had to burn. So we thought we'd all pile in the Gladiator and do that. Then I won that tent. So then we're like, hey, we'll just take two rigs, so we can get content with both rigs out and whatnot. And so that's what we did. Got two rigs ready. and drove 783 miles down there.
Who's counting? Yeah.
Who's counting? But it's pretty boring of a drive, not gonna lie,
Yeah. I
until
know a
you
lot
get
of
there.
Texas is pretty boring to drive through.
Oh,
I've done it a
yeah.
few times.
West Texas is, yeah, it's, there's not much to see. But when you get close to Big Bend, you start seeing all the buttes and the mountains and stuff, and it's just unbelievable.
Very cool.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a ton of places to primitive camp for free and stuff in Texas either. There are some places,
No.
but not a lot.
Hmm.
So that's another challenge that we run into when we're going cross country is trying to find some decent places to camp.
Yeah. I believe the Coyote Crossing, don't uh, don't pin me on this, but I think it was $22 a night, which is pretty cheap, pretty
Yeah.
inexpensive. Um, he did have a potty facility. He's working on other stuff currently, but yeah, pretty inexpensive, honestly.
Well, it's going to be coming out in our by the time this airs, it'll be out, but we're going to do a YouTube series on primitive camping in Florida
Ooh.
for free. And but one of the places that we're camping currently that's not free, but it's very inexpensive is called the Swanee River Music Park.
Uh huh.
And they have different concerts here at times, like outdoor concerts, and they have everything from full hookup, 50 amp all the way to like just water and electric to primitive like we're doing just in the middle of a field primitive camping, but they have
Oh.
shower houses and all this other stuff. So
Oh,
it's
nice.
pretty nice. And there
Yeah.
is literally we're on 80 acres right now and there is no one around us.
Really. See, that is
No
nice.
one. Yeah.
That is
So
nice.
it's definitely a place we'll be coming back to.
Now, where is that at?
That's in Live Oak, Florida.
Live Oak.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be
So
excited to watch that
yeah.
for
But
sure.
we visited a few other. So the big thing here is the wildlife management
Hmm.
areas and the water management districts.
Hmm.
There's several districts throughout Florida and they all have their own primitive campgrounds and their own little like areas that are kind of separated and you can go there. You have to go on an online reservation system, but it's free to camp.
Right.
So we really like that
Yeah, that's cool.
because it's hard to get camping in Florida in the winter. It really is.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I can only
So
imagine. My in-laws are in Florida for the next month, uh, but they're in their bus though. They have one of those big RVs. I think they're in Fort Myers
okay.
down there.
Yeah, we went down to that area to
Across.
see Joe's dad and
Yeah.
visited. That's a pretty cool area. It's nice and it's starting to really grow, but it's still not like Miami. It's not crazy
Right.
like South Florida yet.
The big joke
But
is every time they go, I'm like, you forgot me. You forgot
yeah,
me.
I can go and I can sleep in my rooftop tent on my car. I'm good. Take
Yeah,
me with
just
you.
tell me you're going. Yeah. So, anywho,
So, what is one thing you would tell other women that might be interested in getting into this kind of hobby, overlanding, off-roading, car camping, whatever you want to call it? What would you tell other women that might be interested in getting into this?
I would tell them to, step outside your comfort zone. That is what it's going to take. Even if you are outdoorsy, there's a lot of things that you have to adjust to do this kind of lifestyle or this hobby.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, step outside of your comfort zone and just try it. And if you don't like it, then adjust to what you think you might need, in order to make you enjoy it. Because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it.
Right.
With anything else.
But it takes some getting used to, and it also takes, I think, some willingness to get outside of that comfort zone, like you said. You gotta be willing to be like, okay, maybe I can't take a shower every single day necessarily
Right.
because we have to make sure we have enough water,
Right.
or maybe I'll do every other day and wipe down, or just
Yes.
kind of finding what works for you, or maybe we'll only camp for 3 days and then we'll go get a hotel, or we'll go back, or
Right.
you know,
Splurge a little
yeah,
bit or find a place that does $5 showers or something like that, like
exactly.
we did, down in Big Bend. What has helped me personally is to go with others,
Mhm.
camp with others, and you actually learn off of each other different things, different things to change about your setup, um, that can make it more enjoyable for you. Tips, basically asking, hey, what do y'all do, to conserve water? Or, hey, what do y'all do about your showering? Or,
Mhm.
what do you use? Do you use the shower packs or baby wipes or, all these kind of things? Because honestly, for women, they want to be able to clean up. They want to be able to go to the restroom. Those are two big things, I think, for every woman. And if you can't do that, then you're not going to want to go with your spouse
No.
out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you're not going to want to, and then you're going to miss out on so many things you would normally see.
Oh yeah, beautiful views and just a lot
Yeah,
of stuff. And
yeah.
it's funny because I in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in today, I saw a guy actually ask about how people's different shower setups because he said I have to take a shower every day. And I
Mhm.
thought that was like, oh, so it's not just
Okay,
women that have to take a shower, frequently. There's
right.
guys out there too that are like, no, I'm not about that. I need that shower every day to feel clean and
To get going,
yeah, exactly.
for sure.
Yeah. So what do you think have there been any challenges that you've encountered when off-roading that you've had to overcome and how did you overcome those?
When we first started jeeping, so different from being on a four wheeler, and we had our own four wheelers, so we're kind of independent that way. So to be in the passenger side and go off roading somewhere and get off camber, I can tell you when we first started, I was a complete panicker when it came to that. Like the whole heavy breathing, ridiculous, um, whatnots, why we learned, the Jeep and how it handled. Tony never batted an eye, of course, because guys are macho or whatever. Um, but that was a big thing for me to get over that. I struggled with that quite a bit for several months going out, to be honest, like having to go down a you know, steep grade, and then there's like a step that makes you, off,
Mm-hmm.
and then here I am going, like that. Tony's like, you can't do that when I'm driving. Like,
No.
you can't do that. You got to stop. You got to stop. So
But it's
that
different when
that was a
you're in
big
the
thing.
driver's seat, right? Like for some reason, we
Yeah,
feel like we have more control over what's
sure,
happening, you know?
sure. But whenever I would do it, I would still be a little nervous about it. But I understood what was going on instead of not having any control in the passenger seat. My brakes or gas did not work over there.
I know.
I tried, stomp the floor, grab the handle. That didn't happen. But that was probably the biggest thing starting to go off roading in the Jeep for me was just trying to be in the passenger seat versus being the driver of a four wheeler. Big
Oh, yeah.
difference. Very big difference. Different handling, all of it.
Well, when we got stuck in the Ozarks and Joe was trying to get out of one spot, we were worried the Jeep was going to flip. So he literally had me hanging off the passenger side off the roof rack, leaning back as far as I can to try to counterbalance if it was going to work or not. I don't know. But I'm trying to counterbalance the weight to where we didn't flip over.
Hmm.
So that's a fun time also.
Yeah, it's all good times, and it can be muddy, and
Oh, it was.
you may fall, and yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
can get quite challenging.
Oh, yeah. We
Quite
walked back out to
challenging.
the main road to find somebody to help us because a tree had fallen across the path as well, and we didn't have anything to take it down because it was pretty big. And we're just it was like after 6 hours of being stuck, and we were just covered in mud,
Oh Lord.
all five of us, and we're running to these four-wheeler guys that were there, and I was like, oh, they're not going to help us. We look like a hot mess, like we're covered,
Oh yeah.
but they helped us, and that was good. But
Wow.
I tell you,
Yeah.
it can
You have
get
to work as a
interesting out there.
team.
Oh yeah,
It's testing on your marriage because you have to work as a team, and sometimes you're not going to gee and haw about that.
no, and
So it's testing.
yeah, and one of the good things though was that the kids it was nice to see the kids really rally around and say, "Oh, let's get this piece of wood, and we can put that with the traction board, and we can try to do this, and mom,
Yep.
maybe we can put this rock here and try to." They were like thinking the problem through and
Hmm.
grabbing things and trying to help however they could at their ages. That was one of my favorite parts of the whole situation, was seeing them try to help us get as a family get out of that situation.
That's awesome.
That
Yeah,
was really cool.
work the problem. Basically,
Yeah.
work the problem. Yeah, it's sometimes it's crazy, but yeah, work the problem.
So if there was a if you could like label a best day out on a trail, what would your best day or best moment be?
Oh Lord, that's a hard one, girl. Um, the most recent trip we did to Big Bend. We've been to Colorado a couple times. Um, Tony and I disagree on this. He loves Colorado. Um, I loved the most recent trip, down to Big Bend. I
Hmm.
loved it way more um, than Colorado. Just they both have beautiful, beautiful terrain. Lots to offer. I just loved all the cactus and the deserts and the overlooks where you could just pull off and eat lunch and everywhere I turned, it was just amazing, just amazing. Seeing the Rio Grande, I mean,
Oh yeah.
there's just so much, just so much. The goat mayor, he was my favorite, of course, but a big love for Clay Henry, big love. Look
No,
him up,
that's
people.
we've been, many places out west. We haven't really done California, but we've been everywhere from New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, Wyoming, the Pacific
Hmm.
Northwest, and my favorite places are New Mexico and Wyoming. The Pacific Northwest is beautiful, but Wyoming is cool because to me it's probably very similar to the area you were in that it's not super overpopulated.
Hmm.
A lot of beautiful views, a lot of really cool places to set up camp,
Yes,
but it's unique. Whereas Colorado is, let's face it, Colorado is gorgeous,
it's
but
gorgeous.
Colorado also has a lot of people already doing this,
A lot of people.
and it's
Yeah,
very crowded.
very
And
busy.
my whole idea with this is just to get away and
Hmm.
kind of do your own thing and have that peace and solitude. So
Yeah,
that's why I prefer some other states.
I hear you. Wyoming is definitely on the list. New Mexico, we have not really gotten to do anything in New Mexico except for basically drive through it to get to Colorado.
Hmm.
Um, we have talked about going, down there by Red River or whatnot. So that definitely is on the list to do.
Oh, there's so much. We're going to be doing a little bit more exploration in Utah as well. We've done a little bit there, but and everybody, a lot of people go to Moab and stuff, but we went
Right.
to Valley of the Gods when we were down there recently. And there's just so many other, we want to see more of the slot canyons and just
Mm-hmm.
really get out there into some of the other national parks. We've done Zion and
Right.
Arches, but we want to do like Bryce Canyon and just kind of explore that as well more. And a little bit of Nevada. I've heard there's some really cool places to go in Nevada as well. So,
Um, we did buy, so when we were in Big Bend, we did buy one of the passport books where you can collect the stamps and whatnot.
oh, okay.
Joey and Connie had that. Matt and Kara had that. We ended up seeing them down there as well. Um, and so we decided to buy that to start collecting stamps as well. So, hitting all the national parks is, on the list. The list is very long. The list is very long. It just
Yeah.
takes time and money. So,
Well, my kids each
the
have a
two lists.
passport book, and Joe has one from when he was a kid that
Oh,
he's still
wow.
updating.
Oh,
I
wow.
somehow lost mine.
We just got one.
But
That's it. But yeah, we're starting to collect those stamps. We got educated on it by Joey, so we're good to go.
yeah, he's a good educator, that
Oh
Joey.
yeah, oh yeah. So we're good to go now.
So this is what I like to call self promo time.
Yeah.
The floor is yours. tell everybody how they can find you guys on social media, any YouTube channels you may have, anything like that.
Well, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Bats Offroad on all three of those platforms. Miss Bats Offroad also on all three of those platforms. Miss Bats Offroad, the YouTube channel, we just fired that up this week. So by the time you watch this, hopefully we'll have some content on there for you to view. But for right now, the three major ones, that's where we're at: Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Very nice. Well,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed talking to you, Arla. I love you to death, and I can't wait to camp with you again.
I
It will
can't
be soon.
wait. I can't
So
wait.
thank you so much for being on the podcast tonight, and we
Thanks for
will
having
definitely
me.
get together. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. It was fun.
And now for a special announcement. Arla, aka Mrs. Bats Offroad, is joining the Lady Overlander radio team as my partner and co-host. We will continue to grow the Lady Overlander radio brand together. I am so excited about this partnership. Stay tuned and safe travels, friends. Barefoot Overlander, out.